It can be considered quite taboo to eat crickets in a lot of areas. However, according to Food and Agriculture Organization (FAO), cricket farming could be a game changer in Kenya's agricultural sector, simply because crickets are not only packed with protein but also needs 6 times less feed than cattle to produce the same amount of protein, all while emitting less harmful gases than livestock. So if handling insects has been taboo for you so far, you might just change your mind after watching today's episode of Kilimo na Biashara.
Different cultures are defined by different things. Quite often, food is on top of the list. Picture this: sitting down with your family, feasting on crickets. Well, today on Kilimo na Biashara, we focus on cricket farming. Talash,
how are you?
I'm good. And what are you holding?
I'm holding the snack of the future.
Why are you giving me? You want
High
me
in
to
protein,
test?
high in zinc, price of entry.
I try it out?
Yeah,
Okay. Oh my God, I've never done this. This cricket?
just try it and then I'll tell you afterwards.
It's actually nice.
And now try like this.
Again.
Yeah, here. It's good, right?
I like it. I like it. How are you?
Paprika, salt and vinegar, flavored crickets.
Let's see what you have.
This is our kitchen. Where we're working on making the end product. But we'll come back there later.
Okay. So where do we begin?
Let's start in the production hall.
Okay, lead us through. Okay. So everything here that you produce is made of crickets.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm so curious to know how this even happens. So this is one of your favorite snacks.
Yeah, salt and vinegar flavored crickets. I love the salt and vinegar flavor. This is healthier than a chip because it's giving me the protein boost I need for the day.
Oh, gives you energy.
Yeah. Welcome.
Thank you. It's quite humid.
Yep.
It's warm.
Yep. 20 degrees and 60% humidity. The sound you're hearing makes the crickets happy, but also makes me very happy. It means that they're mating and laying eggs.
Oh, the noise means that they're mating.
Yeah, it's the males rubbing their wings together, trying to attract a female.
Show me.
So crickets are very sensitive to disease, so please dip your feet. And sanitize your hands. So our COVID-friendly facility, we had sanitizer before it was cool to have sanitizer.
Wow. So the noise that you're hearing is for mating.
Yeah, let's see if we can find a set of males rubbing their wings.
Rubbing their wings shows that they're mating?
No, it means that they're making the sound to try and attract a female. We don't like light, so when you pull them to the light, they're unhappy.
The ones that are making noise are the females?
Are the males.
Or they're the males?
Yeah.
To attract the females?
Yeah.
What is the physical difference between male and female?
So female, like this one here on the box, she has a long stick on her, you see here on the box. She has that long thing sticking out. It's called a depositor. It's what they use to lay eggs. And males don't have that. So the females lay eggs in there. We harvest them. All these little white dots you see over here are all eggs. They take about a week to hatch.
Ah, there are so many.
Yeah, one female lays around 600 eggs. One female.
Those are so many.
Yeah. So here you can see the babies have started to come out and they've started eating. So what we do from here is we cut the density in half, just to make sure they're not too many, and they start growing. We have a combination of dry feed and sukuma wiki for them to eat, and then some sponge soaked in water so they can also drink.
So Talash, even as we are enjoying this cricket, how did you start this business?
We started in 2018. I graduated with a degree in agriculture, and I wanted to farm fish because I believe white meat is the next frontier in livestock production. But when we're breaking down the cost of fish, it's too expensive to do unless you have a huge investment, big space, and can do more than 5 tons a month. So when you break down the cost of fish feed, you realize the most expensive component is feed. When you look at feed, the most expensive component is protein. So 60% of the cost of producing an animal is feed, and 70% of the cost of feed is protein. So he said, why would we grow something there when there's an even bigger gap early on in the supply chain?
There are different varieties of crickets. How did you identify this particular one?
So the insect we grow is a native species to Kenya, so that you're not bringing in a new invasive species. So they're also easier to grow because they're used to this climate of ours.
How did you begin thinking about these investments in a country that the uptake of cricket is not so high?
Myself, I'm a Maasai, so my people are not known for eating crickets. You know, only cows. We don't see any, not even skooma. We only want to see cows and cow byproducts. But if you look at places such as Western Kenya on the lake, they already eat the flying termites. In Uganda, they eat grasshoppers. So if you start with people who are already a bit associated with crickets, then it's a lot easier to get people to eat them. The other thing that we do is we turn it into a powder, because as the powder, it's less offensive. I think I have the same thing with fish. As long as I don't see the face of a fish, I can happily eat it.
How is the maintenance of cricket farming?
As long as you keep it clean and dry. Yeah. A bit of moisture, if you have egg trays, your crickets are going to die. A bit of temperature change they can handle as long as it's not in a place where it's too drastic. So limuru, it's always cold, they'll just take a month longer to grow. Yeah.
Do you normally regulate the temperatures in there? Because earlier on when we got in, it's quite humid. Do you have to regulate it inside there?
We're doing this commercially, so we want to ensure that every day we have the same amount of insects coming out. There is a cost, but we have an extremely efficient system that's, when it gets to the temperature it needs, it all switches off.
So in this type of farming, what are the challenges that you face?
Crickets are very sensitive to everything. Everything can try and kill them. Black soldier fly is untouchable. Nothing can kill a black soldier fly when it's alive. Oh. But crickets, a bit of moisture on their feeding trays, they eat it, they die. Not enough water in their diet, they die. Not enough green things in their diet, they die. They're very, very sensitive. That's why it took us a year to get to the stage where we are now, because there was a lot of experimentation and trying to get it right.
What's your favorite thing about these crickets?
I like that with everything that we do, it's fully circular. So everything we grow on the farm, we use again to grow the crickets. The cricket poop, we use again on the farm. So it's a fully closed loop. So there is no waste, and they're so environmentally friendly. As Maasai, I love my cows, but we all know cows are not environmentally the best, but crickets, they are.
You're in charge of quality assurance here. So what do you normally look into in this facility?
Well, with cricket farming, they are quite sensitive. So I would look at the hygiene of the area. because any type of dirt and they'll die off. We're looking at the quality of the feed that we give them. And finally, the harvesting period, when we need to harvest when they're just about to turn to adults, we call them pre-adults. And I also look at the processing method, so that when they come out, they are nice and crispy. Some people like crispy ones, so we make crispy ones. Some people like crunchy, just about to be crispy, so we also process them to be crunchy. Some like powdered, so we also powder it for them. Yeah.
You've used an umbrella word of quality. When you talk about quality of feeds, what do you mean?
Cricket, we found out that we need to especially emphasize on the protein content of its feed. From around 20 to 35% protein content has done us really well. Some do even 40%, but in our controlled area, we find that 20 to 35% protein content in the feed is quite good. So we go for feeds like chick mash or catfish feeds, and supplement it with the veggies.
What are the key components for a farmer who's intending to start this type of business?
Low maintenance, first of all. They use quite easy things that we can get around us. Leave alone what you're seeing, these boxes and everything, but for a layman, we can use egg trays, stack them up. They are nocturnal, they like darkness, so make sure you place them in a dark area. As you can see, our trays have lids, so that's quite good for them.
And lifespan of crickets is quite low, just like any other insects. How do you ensure that you always have a constant supply of insects in your facility?
In this facility, we harvest the pre-adults at around 5 weeks old. Then we let the others get to adulthood, and we separate them. We actually have a system of a ratio of female to male, so that we can put them in one place, they mate, get eggs, and the cycle comes again. So we have to maintain a really nice big colony, because we have to harvest a big number too. We cannot harvest everything.
When you talk about colony, how many crickets do you need in a box?
One female, one male can give you as much eggs as you need to start off.
When you're sourcing for crickets, is there a particular breed that you look for in order to get good production?
Crickets, they have quite a variety of species. The best species that really matures at a faster rate is a species called Bimaculatus, Grylus bimaculatus. We also have Acheta domesticus, and we also have Scapsipedus isipe. And there's one that is wingless, although I'm not sure of its species name.
Any other health benefits of cricket?
They are quite high in iron. Iron is, it will help us in boosting our oxygen uptake. Red blood cells is actually related quite well with iron intake, especially for pregnant mothers and women and girls of the menstrual period. During your menstrual cycle, pop in some crickets, and you're good to go with your iron intake. For example, for the sexual drives, it really boosts the zinc intake, and that will boost your libido. So pop in some crickets if you want some kink in your...
How many should I pop in? I need a box.
No, you can't take a box, because then you'll be eating too much protein, and too much protein is bad for your kidneys.
How is the future of cricket farming looking like?
Cricket farming is the future. One, we are low on fish. The fish supply is really coming to a low down. Crickets is the way to go, because it takes quite less water, quite less feed. The emission, the carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide emission is also the greenhouse effect that is felt from cultivating crickets is quite low as compared to livestock or the normal conventional protein as we know it.
Dorothy, how do you normally harvest crickets?
Well, Linda, before we harvest them, we have to give them some pumpkin to pump out the gut content. Then we can harvest them the following day. Maybe I could show you how we do some, if that's okay with you.
Yes, 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 please show me.
We have here a crate full of crickets ready to be harvested.
How do you know when a cricket is ready for harvest?
A cricket is ready for harvest when you see some tiny wings coming out. That one is ready. You don't want a big wing or no wing at all. Linda, let me show you how we process our crickets in our kitchen.
Oh, you said you normally freeze them first?
Yes, we do freeze them first.
Maybe you can lead us.
Yes, sure.
So how many crickets do you normally freeze in a day?
We freeze 10 to 15 kilos a day, and we dry about 10 kilos a day on the days that we process them. This is a standard freezer. It's around minus 18 to minus 21 degrees Celsius, so that we can kill them. They stay here overnight.
Oh, that's close to roughly how many hours?
Around 10 to 16 hours.
Oh, that's quite a long time. And after that, they are dead.
Yes.
From here, where do you move them to?
From here, we move to the defrosting. We let them to thaw and defrost on themselves. We do not add any water for them to thaw or anything. Then after that, we put them in the microwave, an industrial microwave, and pop them for around 12 and a half minutes, and they are ready as a snack.
Ready to eat?
Yes.
Whoa. So, and these are the ones that you can produce powder, porridge with, or what do you do from here to get this type of powder?
I will show you how we do it here with our NutriBullet. You get some of the dried ones.
How many spoons?
Around 7 or 8 spoons.
And it's pure,
Yeah.
there's nothing that you can add.
No, this is plain crickets. Yeah.
And this powder can be used to...
The powder, yes, you can add it in anything, any kind of foods that you want to add your protein. You just pop some of the flour in. Then we have to blend it. Just pop out. Now, because they are fatty, you have to
keep shaking.
Yes, you have to quite shake them. Then after here, we get a powder, a cricket powder.
This is the cricket powder now.
Yes.
And it's so fine.
Yes, you can eat them as plain as they are. Some you can add salt. You can have here like sea salt. You can just take some, you know, and sprinkle some of the salt. And they're good to go.
Whoa, let me try without the salt. How is it?
How do you like it?
I mean, it's sweet.
Yeah,
But
very
I would
sweet.
like to try it with so many other flavors.
Yes, you can add some paprika. The paprika is quite nice. I love the paprika flavored ones.
Yeah.
You can just take some paprika, you know, quite a small amount, sprinkle in your crickets, swirl them. Voila!
Voila, this is it.
Paprika flavored crickets.
There's nothing else that you can add. It's
Vinegar, any type
Honey.
of honey, any type of flavor that you want, just pop it in, swirl, and there you have it.
Can we try it? Can we try this paprika one?
Yes, you can.
Let me see. You told me earlier I should remove the legs or the wings. What
Not
happens?
necessarily, not
What happens if
necessarily.
I don't remove the legs? I can eat with.
Yes, you can.
Okay, let's see. I like the paprika flavor. I like it. I like it. Thank you so much, Dorothy. This is delicious.
You're welcome.
Guys, that has been Kilimo na Biashara. I hope you've learned something from today's episode of cricket farming. Until next time, God bless.